Welcome into the latest edition of Extra Time. Craig and Stevie here. Alessandro Del Piero as well. We're talking about Craig's nice jacket and tie combo today.
Go on. He doesn't like it.
Doesn't like it.
Stevie doesn't like Stevie doesn't like it. He wasn't attracted to the colours and the...
I never said I didn't like it. I just wouldn't have bought it.
Well, we know that.
Is there a difference?
Can we ask the Italian? Because they usually have the word
Oh, the
on
Italians
fashion.
know about fashion.
What do you think,
I don't
Ali?
know.
Craig's outfit?
I don't see very well, to be honest, but for sure I know that Steve sings very well.
Thank you. Thank you, Ali.
Singing.
Oh, this one.
Singing before this. All right, first question is
Let's go.
for Alessandro. What is the way forward for Serie A to become competitive again with other top leagues? The clubs are not doing well financially and not being able to retain or compete for talent.
Ideas for sure. Ideas, way to play football, passion, characteristic that always belong to the Italian football, and that actually we have an incredible example with Napoli, because they play probably the best football in Europe, let me say that, and they're ready to perform and beat anyone for 5-6 goals. 5 goals, 6 goals, 4 goals. So it's powerful moment for Napoli. It's magic moment, but they show that through idea, through passion, through the way to play football.
Craig, are you going to follow in Gareth Bale's footsteps and retire from the soccer world and enter the pro golf world?
Hey, I'm retired from the soccer world. We don't...
Soccer completely.
Oh, TV?
Yeah.
Wow. I don't know. I think a lot of people would like to think that I would
love to
sort
see
up.
that.
Yeah, a lot of
I know
people.
a lot of people that would love to see that.
But no, I wouldn't. I mean, to be honest with you, he's got some stomach to play in that AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am, because Stevie will tell you about my chipping. Right, I'm a low handicapper, right, and TT Green potting. However, my chipping is suspect. Now, if there was a few thousand people there, so I would get quite nervous about that.
Well, the funny thing is, right, if you added the nerves onto his chipping, because right now when he's playing in our course, you're not nervous, right? So when you're not nervous, and from nowhere, you can zing it right off the heel, off the bottom.
Not the strongest.
From absolutely nowhere. Can you imagine if you actually were under pressure? So yeah, I think that would hold you back.
Would you like that life?
What do you mean?
Pro golfer?
I've got that. What are you talking about? I'm playing 150 times. Oh, sorry, did I say that? I mean, I'm just working hard, you know, I'm working hard.
Working hard, hardly working.
No, I'm okay.
If Liverpool called up Stevie tomorrow as an interim manager to help them finish in the top 4, how would he go about achieving that target?
I don't think it could. I don't think it could.
But if you had to get in there, where do you start?
Listen, you could go and get Pep from Man City for the rest of the season, and we wouldn't get in the top 4. Listen, at the end of the day,
Well,
we can talk about...
After the Wolves game, you said it would all turn around.
I saw that.
Right, I'm telling you.
We can
I
talk
watched
about...
the programme, that's what you said.
Look, there's no question that if you have a great coach or a manager, whatever you want to call it, it absolutely helps you big time. But the bottom line is, the coaches don't head the ball, they kick the ball. You know, the coaches help and they give ideas and they try and point you in the right direction and they try and motivate you and all of these things. But at the end of the day, it's the players that you have on the field that have to produce it. And if you have players on the field that are not capable of it, I don't care how good a coach you are, it's not happening. And right now, what Liverpool have on the field isn't good enough to be in the top 4.
Highly optimistic answer there from Stevie Nicol.
It's realistic is what it is.
All right.
He's a realist. You've got to understand that. On a Friday.
Speaking about being a realist, although it's interesting because I know you've all got thoughts on Napoli right now. Alessandro, what chance do you give a Serie A club to win the Champions League in the next 5 years?
Thank you for the question. It puts me in trouble. We have a chance because I believe, and the history said that Italy in general and Italian clubs, they show their best in the most difficult moment. So why not? Why not? Why cannot happen? I mean, it's gonna take a lot of work, to be honest. Yes, but several teams are growing. Napoli is growing. Milan, beside the moment, is growing. Inter is still there. Juventus need to fix a couple of problems, let's say like this, but they have the spirit to do it. So why not? Roma won the EuroLeague last year, and nobody bet on Roma. So why not?
There's not many teams play. I mean, you sit very high today. So
I was actually sitting up listening.
I feel like you're looking down on me again. But you know,
actually,
but look, PSG.
You mentioned Napoli the other day, though.
Yeah. Look, PSG are not playing well at the moment. Bayern are not playing well at the moment. Man City have obviously got Haaland, but they're not playing as well as they were. I'm thinking of all the teams. If it continues like that, I think Napoli have got a strong chance, for sure. Honestly.
The problem is, as big a chance as Napoli might have this year, they could start next year without Osimhen, for example.
Yeah.
You know, they're doing so well that generally, all the teams with money, we're looking at the Premier League and Madrid and Barcelona and Spain, they give a certain amount of money that the clubs can't say no to. And then, unfortunately, they have to start again. I mean, I hope that doesn't happen to Napoli, but the odds are that that's exactly what's going to happen. The money's going to come and take all the best guys away, and then they're going to try and replace them, and then they'll be just a step down from where they were, and then the same thing happens the next year, and then they go further down. I mean, it's just, it's tough to see how the Italian sides get out of the rut they're in right now, because as soon as somebody does well, somebody comes and buys them.
Do you agree with that, Ale? And I'm just interested to know if it's Napoli that you would see winning it first out of all the Italian clubs right now.
Well, Napoli has a good chance. I mean, as you say, guys, I mean, they play better than anyone. So why not? It's a great magical moment for them. And I have to agree with what you say again. And the problem in Italy is that if you do well, somebody comes from outside and buy you. So this is probably what's going to happen with Osimhen. It's a big chance. There's already rumors about his moving at the end of the year. So it's going to be tough. But again, there's other ways to do great football and to pursue the dream.
Is the Premier League spending the problem here? Do you think there should be a concern about that when it comes to trying to win the Champions League?
Well, listen, look, every league has to take care of its own business. There's no doubt the Premier League has marketed itself better than any other league. That was the starting point years ago, and then it has snowballed from there. But listen, it's all very well Tebas in Spain complaining and all this, but years and years ago, Italy was the place to go, and Italy used to come in and pilfer all the best players from, South America and Britain. That was, Juve and Milan and all these teams. That was the place to go, and then it was Spain. But by the way, talking about spending money, who was that team that paid? I don't know. Who was that team that paid 150 million or so for that guy from Liverpool? Coutinho, Barcelona. You know what I mean? So, Spain and Real Madrid and Barcelona have done it for years to other teams. It's just that a lot of teams in England have the ability. Even talking about Nottingham Forest, Bournemouth, they could go and spend 30, 40 million easily. Now, years ago, they would never have been able to do that. But because of the TV revenue, they can. But that's the other leagues' problems to try and fix, I think.
For Ale, will it be a successful season if Juve finish 7th and manage to win the Coppa Italia, considering their recent misfortunes?
Well, I consider the position now, it's something that I'm not gonna call it a successful season, but something that can be a nice season. Because, winning a title is always winning a title, but finish 7 is, Juve fans, everybody think, you need to arrive now, at this moment, at least 4. They still believe it. So they have a team to do it. It's going to be a long run, yes. Everything's going to have to be perfect from now on, yes. But this is the way. So no successful season, finish 7 and win the Coppa Italia, but nice season.
Last question for all of you. Stevie, I'll start with you. What's the best stadium atmosphere that you've experienced as a player or other?
Wembley. Cup final.
What year was that?
Well, I was lucky to play there a few times. Scotland, England game.
Oh, so every time at Wembley, you're just saying?
Well, every time I played at Wembley, it was full. And the walk from the dressing room through the tunnel, when you come out, there's just a wall of noise, just a deafening noise all at once. It's never been replicated really anywhere. Listen,
because you don't
Anfield,
get that now.
No, well, you don't get that now because it's completely different. But, Anfield, Old Trafford, Rome. I mean, all these places have fantastic atmospheres. But just, there was nothing like the Wembley walk coming out at the end and just a wall of noise hitting you. Nothing like that.
Well, I commentated in a Milan derby at the San Siro about 10 years ago, and that was when Mourinho was in charge. And there was it was a brilliant atmosphere, I have to say. Even though it's kind of, San Siro's a kind of old stadium, but it was still fantastic. Old Firm would be one, Celtic Rangers games that I played in, but I agree with Stevie, having played at Wembley several times, FA Cup finals, but more so the Scotland-England Euro 2000 playoff that when we beat England 1-0 at Wembley, but Paul Scholes had scored 2 at Hampden. That was a great atmosphere coming out there. So yeah, the old Wembley, walking up when you can just see the whole pitch and stadium and hear the noise, because it's about, what's it, about 70-80 yard walk to get out into the from the tunnel there, maybe not quite as far as that. Great atmosphere though. And then they went and spoiled it, built this new stadium. All these stadiums, I was watching all these, there's a guy on social media posts pictures of all these old stadiums around Europe, particularly in Britain though, and some of these old grounds, they've just got so much character to them.
Well, you could, if somebody dropped you out of a helicopter, right, and you parachuted down, you used to be able to tell what ground you were in. Like Fulham, for example, with the Cottage.
Right.
The old Derby County. I mean, even Goodison still today, Anfield, Chelsea, the old Chelsea. You knew where you were. Now, a lot of these stadiums, the only reason you know where you are is because of the colours. Because it all looks the same. It's all kind of built the same. It's just, everything looks similar. There's no real character. There's no real character about the majority.
I would pay to see you been parachuted in somewhere. I would pay to see that.
But. What about you, Ale? What's the best stadium atmosphere that you've experienced?
Kate, I have a long list. I have a really long list because I'm mixing with the feeling and, of course, what happened, during my career. In Italy, for sure, San Siro. In Milano, Marassi in Genova, incredible atmosphere, and Torino, the new stadium in Torino, Juventus Stadium, is amazing. Then I've been traveling around the world. I mean, Santiago Bernabeu it's massive, it's unique, but also San Mamés in Spain is something that I experienced incredible feelings. And then back in England, Old Trafford for sure, Anfield, amazing. Anfield is out of control. And both Celtic Parks and Ibrox in Glasgow, when I played there, was absolutely stunning. I mean, I love it. But then St. James's Park in Newcastle as well. And Dortmund Stadium in Germany, unbelievable. I can go on and on. but I'm finished here.
He's got
No, don't.
Okay, one thing I want to say, though, is Dan and I were both at the Santiago Bernabeu, Ale, and I think it was 2008 when you were one of the few players in history who was given an ovation by the Real Madrid fans. What was that like?
Well, I can't show you, but I still have a goosebump. You know, when you grow up in Italy, but everybody around the world, when you think about Santiago Bernabeu, is their stadium. Real Madrid is their team. It's something that it's huge. So when you have a chance to play there, it's already something amazing. But the stadium looks tough. It was back in the time was 100,000 people can go inside. So when you have a chance, and that game was unique. I scored 2 goals, we won, and I was facing with Juve so many times. Real Madrid, we were battled so many times that I think was unbelievable what happened. And all the time that I have a possibility, I thank the Real Madrid fans because of that, because they give me something special for that day.
Very nice memories as well.
But you and Dan were like, yay.
we were loving it. It was always good when you saw an ovation because you don't see that much. I think there's like Iniesta, Ronaldinho.
What is that?
When the home.
What's an ovation?
Oh boy, that's ready to answer.
Hey, really?
Bit over her head as well.
Didn't sleep well last night. Ale, thank you so much for sharing that with us. We'll see you again soon here on ESPN FC.
Ciao,
Thanks for sending in your questions to Extra Time as well.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.